Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christopher as always. Today I have another light panel for us to take a look at. This one sent to me from a company called BESTVA, and it's from their Pro series. It's the 2000 panel, and it's supposed to be, let's read the binder, 210 watts. So yeah, it's a half-sized LED panel, so it's not the huge grow panels, but it's also not the smaller 100 watt panels that we're used to see everywhere. So it's in the middle size there, and that's kind of interesting for me because some of my plants really need a little bit wider cast of the light, which the smaller panels just doesn't provide. It has decent lighting going straight down, but it tends to lack a little bit in the coverage area. So that's why I'm really interested in this mid-sized panel. And as you can see, it's decently packed. Shipping is okay. It was no damage to the box or anything. And voila! Oh, it's nice. So what I was most interested about with this panel was the cooling grills or the heatsink, and this looked interesting to me because it's the first one that I see that actually looks like they have spent some time into designing something that will dissipate the heat at a decent rate. The only thing that I'm thinking about is how well will this cool the LED driver, which is inside here. We might just need to take this apart. Let's just see. So it has a dimming knob which goes from 0 to 100, I guess, and it has some interesting ways to fix the lighting panel. And I think there's a box down here. Let's see what we get. Power cord, of course. Sunglasses. You have to be careful with your eyes. Don't look straight at the sun. You take a quick peek and you look away, as Jerry Seinfeld would say. Now, these are the fixtures for hanging. This is just a hanging fixture with a thingy. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I don't know how to pronounce anything. This looks interesting. It has these screw fixtures, which you can probably just slot into. Yeah, they slot into the slots on the heatsink, and that looks okay. That looks decent. I'm gonna bring you in closer and we're gonna hang this one from the ceiling and just take a look at it. So what I wanted to see with this, yeah, I think I'm gonna take this apart and we need to check what this is inside. And it might keep you from doing the same. So let's make me the guinea pig here. I have my beautiful chili plant. It's 6 or 7 plants fused together in my hydroponic setup. This is my own cross, and I've been looking at some lighting for, well, this will just be perfect for that kind of plant, because with my 100 watt panels, I have a few of those, but they are a little bit too small, so the plant tends to be a little bit lanky on the sides. So what I wanted to do is hang this up, and I'm gonna bring my beautiful chili plant into the room, into the carpet area. And I'm gonna hang it over it and see how it spreads and if this is a good light fixture for that kind of plant. So I'm not a technical person when it comes to detailing all the PAR values and the efficiency and all the readings and everything, because that's just not the way my garden works. So what I'm doing is, if I look at a light and I see it cast on a plant, I would immediately say if this is sufficient for whatever I'm trying to achieve with my plants. It's not always just about how bright you can get the light. Now, for most of us, we are not growing, well, I'm at least not growing anything illegal here, so it's not about how much light I can put on a single plant. That's just not the way it works. When I'm growing my indoor tropical plants, like my coffee tree and my peppers and mango and stuff like that, I don't really need to have crazy bright lights. So what I would do is keep my lights a little bit above and get a more spread out light. And that way my plants will grow healthy, but I'm not growing for a record. So that's not what I do. And most of you probably do the same things that I do. You have house plants, or you are doing seed starting for the next outdoor season and things like that. So you're interested in a little bit of a coverage, I guess, and not just crazy much on one spot. Now with this light, of course, you can do the crazy 2 by 2 foot grow area, and that would be just perfectly fine. But for me, this is something that I will use to do more of a coverage lighting for instance, my pepper plant. And we're gonna see that later. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just put this one, hang this from the ceiling, and we can take a look at how it looks, okay? Here's the panel hanging from the ceiling, and as you can see, it has these beautiful ribs in the heatsink, and it feels sturdy. I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised at how well this actually feels. It's heavy, and everything is metal. It's decent made. It looks like a good quality for the price. And I've seen a lot of these panels going by, and most of them don't actually have the really nice ribs and fins in the heatsink. So yeah, I would think that this will perform really well with the heat dissipation. So yeah, that's something I need to test. I'm gonna keep this panel lighted on full brightness for a while, just to make sure that it doesn't heat up too much and everything looks nice. It also has this quick toggle switch on the mains cable, and that's also nice, so you don't have to rip out the power cord every single time you want to turn it off. This is the adjustment knob, and this is the one that you can trim the light from 0 to 100%. And I haven't turned it on yet, so let's just see if we can do that. Yeah, it's crazy bright, as all these panels are. This is 200 watts, and that is a lot of LED power. So yeah, it looks really well. I think we're gonna turn it upside down, and we're gonna take a look at it and see if we can actually try to unscrew this and take a look at the driver and check what kind of driver is driving the LEDs on this panel. This is the underside of the panel, and as you can see, there is a lot of diodes here. There's over 400, I think. I haven't counted them, but I think there's over 400. They have both 5000 and 3000K diodes, mainly those Samsung diodes, which are really good. They're high quality, and they're of the more expensive diodes, and they also have some far red diodes. I'm not sure about what the company is for those diodes, but I guess they're also decent. The cover, or the PCB, is covered with some sort of conformal coating, and that's nice. In my type of growing, this isn't really necessary, and there's also, I guess there's the connections for the power to the panel is here. I don't know how well sealed this one is, so I would guess this is splash proof, but I wouldn't throw water at it, to be honest. I think there's 4 screws. It looks like there's 4 screws here for the cover of the LED driver. Please do not do this. This is purely just stupid, but I'm a curious guy, and I work in electronics and microcontrollers all day, and when something is covered, I really need to just take a look at what it is inside. So let's switch this over. Yeah, it's open. And we can see there's probably some wires going here. Yes. Having worked with Meanwell drivers before, I probably will be able to tell that this is the backside of a Meanwell driver. Let's just turn it around and look. And yes, this is a Meanwell driver. It's the ELG 240 448AB. And this is a really good driver. It's rated for 240 watts, it's stated down here, and that is plentiful for driving this 210 watt panel. This is always interesting because some of the companies that are making these grow lights, they push the LED driver all to the max, and that's not always a good solution if you want to have something that will run for years. And since the LEDs are rated for several years of usage, then you will probably want to have a driver that's capable of keeping up with that for a while. So yeah, I expect this to do really well when I start to check the thermals for it. The advantage of keeping the LED driver running at, say, 80 or 90% is that you will most guaranteed use a lot less heat. A lot less heat will be dissipated from the driver, and that's really nice if you're trying to cool it passively. And that's all put back together. Let me just hang it up again and see if we can light up my pepper plant. Well, hello there. So I placed the panel above my pepper plant, and as you can see, this is a beautiful plant. It's growing back in. I chopped it way down and now it's starting to bush out, and it looks really healthy and green. And I placed it about 40 centimeters or so above the canopy of the plant, and I'm really curious to see if it's able to cover these parts and these parts. This is about 1 meter wide, and it's interesting to see how that will work. So let's turn it on. Full brightness. Yeah. Yes, this looks perfect for this plant. It's actually looking really good for this plant. So I can see it reaches this side of the plant really well. And you can probably see that also on the camera, that this one lights up really well. It's also have decent coverage all the way on the back side here. And of course the center is just doing really well. It also reaches with in between the leaves and the nodes. So yeah, I think this is actually something that I'm really surprised at how well this is lighting up. It's not super intense, but it's really good, decent coverage, and that's what I want in a plant grow like this. So I think actually I'm going to try to keep this light fixture on top of this plant just to see how it will develop and go into fruiting and flowering, and it will be exciting to see if it's actually able to manage such a huge plant. So yeah, I have to say, yeah, there's so many light panels out there, and there are so many companies producing these lights, and they're getting better at every single iteration, and also the price is really decent. This one is priced at, I think, $170 or something, and that's to be honest, I don't know how they're able to produce this light and still make a profit from it at that price. I have to say, it is that the quality of these lights are getting ridiculous at the price point. So you just go back 4 or 5 years and you wouldn't have anything nearly as decent as this one. Just the cost of the PCB for such a huge aluminum PCB, that's just a huge cost, and also the manual drivers. A lot of these small LED panel companies from China or from America or something like that, they not all use decent drivers, but this one has a manual driver, and that is just pure quality. I've been using those for my professional work for many years, and it is just decent quality, and it also costs a lot of money. So yeah, how they're able to do it, I don't know. And also I have a link down below if you want to check out the panel, and I also have a coupon code for, oh, that's bright, I need to turn it down. There's also a coupon code for 5% off if you want to use the coupon code Brandsdal, which is my name. I'll have everything down in the description, so you can just follow that. And yeah, I'm just amazed. I have to say, I'm just amazed at these panels, what they're able to do with such a low budget. And I think this one is a real joy to work with. It's gonna be, hopefully, gonna be a real joy to work with. And yeah, I'm gonna give this my thumbs up. I have to say, it looks really, really decent. And for me, I think this one is the one to beat. So yeah, this has been a closer look. This is Christopher saying, may the force be with you, and hopefully I'll see you soon, and not in 6 months like this time. So yeah, fingers crossed. There's more going on here, and yeah, soon, I'll promise, soon. Bye.